In the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv, anti-government demonstrators blocked access to the Justice Ministry. The protesters left the building after they occupied it for several hours. The ongoing unrest in Kyiv has now spread to western Ukraine, where protesters have occupied municipal offices in about 10 regions. In Russia, residents of St. Petersburg attended commemorations to mark the end of the Siege of Leningrad on January 27, 1944. The siege by Nazi German and Finnish forces during World War II was one of the longest and deadliest in history, lasting 872 days. By some estimates, as many as 1 million people died from hunger, disease, exposure, and shelling. Also in Russia, the Jewish Museum and Tolerance Center in Moscow held a candle-lighting ceremony to observe International Holocaust Remembrance Day. The event comes 69 years after Soviet soldiers liberated about 7,000 surviving inmates from the Nazis' Auschwitz death camp in Poland. In Georgia, President Georgy Margvelashvili also lit candles in honor of Holocaust victims at a ceremony in Tbilisi. In addition to the 6 million Jews who were killed by the Nazis, International Holocaust Remembrance Day also commemorates other victims of the Third Reich, including the mentally and physically disabled, homosexuals, and Roma. In Kazakhstan, members of an association of homeowners facing foreclosure demonstrated outside the National Bank in Almaty. The activists are seeking the government's help in settling disputes with banks over what they call unjust home foreclosures and exorbitant mortgage rates. The Homeowners Association has been staging protests across the country to demand government intervention. In Charsada, northern Pakistan, hundreds of supporters of a Pashtun nationalist movement marked the 26th anniversary of the death of their movement's leader, Bacha Khan. During the commemorations, Pashtun leaders vowed to continue their struggle against religious extremism and militancy in the region. Bacha Khan rose to prominence in the 1920s as an independence activist who promoted nonviolent struggle against British rule on the subcontinent. And that's the video roundup from Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty.